The Justice Minister Ronald Lamola has announced the closure and investigation of the Master's offices. President Cyril Ramaphosa authorized the Special Investigation Unit to investigate allegations of maladministration, corruption and fraud in the office of the Master of the High Court countrywide. Minister Lamola joins us now from our Pretoria studios. Minister, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening and evening to the viewers.
Now, you revealed earlier on that this investigation follows several allegations of maladministration and corruption. Can you just expand a little bit more on the reports that you've been receiving that led to this action?
The viewers at home will remember a case in Mpumalanga Master's Office of the High Court where almost 1.7 million was amassed by one of our administrators. And this kind of monies involved the most vulnerable in society, women, children, and orphans sometimes. And in certain instances, it also involves distressed companies that are under liquidation through our processes of supervision. So it's a service that is supposed to alleviate the situation of the most poorest of the poor. So it is a concern to us that we will receive so many allegations across the country from time to time. Some of them also went through Parliament, which Parliament also raised some of the issues. So it's an issue that is of serious concern to government, and hence we have viewed that after the SIU said they may need a day to be able to retrieve some of the urgent information, that we give them the space, and we will want to request the public to bear with us for just tomorrow, where the offices will not be operational, but those who might have urgent needs, they will be able to escalate their issues to directly to the department itself, and also to some of the magistrates' offices of the masters across the country.
So, Minister, you mentioned that case in Mpumalanga, where I believe that some of the claims is that an official amassed 1.7 million rand through fraudulent activities. Now, does it involve all divisions of the Master's office, these claims of corruption and maladministration?
Yes, the allegations are widespread. In most of our offices, we do have some kind of reports, anonymous reports that are there, but we also have lots of complaints from those that use these services that it seems as if there's some kind of maladministration that they are concerned about. So we hope that the investigation will help us unearth the real extent of the challenge, and also to be able to help us see what exactly is the challenge and what are the issues that needs to be addressed, and that will enable us to resolve all these challenges. In certain instances, you might find that the allegations may not be substantiated, but in certain instances we don't know what will be the confirmation of the outcomes of the report. But the issues are very serious. As I state, with regard to the Mpumalanga one, already the 1.7 million, it has been confirmed and the person has been charged. And it does look like it's a kind of a widespread crisis that we need to nip in the bud before it becomes endemic.
Are you able to share with us, I know you've done preliminary investigations, but are embarking on a much wider one, but how are officials, if it is officials, able to manipulate the system? As you say, the Master's office carries out various functions of the most vulnerable people in our society. Whom are they manipulating and how?
Yeah, obviously, I may not be able to, at privy, to give you the most graphic details, but to say that what happens is that it affects, for example, with regard to the 1.7 million, it affects the administration of the estate, in that the person who is supposed to benefit end up not benefiting because of wrongly recorded information, and ending up with the monies that is supposed to go to the person who's supposed to be a beneficiary not going to that particular person. But I won't be able to give the details because that will also be going into the investigation. We'll want to prefer that all the information be confirmed and be verified through the process that is undergoing countrywide, but also we do not want to cause unnecessary panic to the public, because we believe that this investigation will help us in terms of alleviating this situation.
Okay, so while I understand you can't give me full details, but are you able to share with us who the whistleblowers are? Are they within the system, or are they those who have been affected?
It's members of the public who have been affected by the process and the system, and they have already, as you have said, preliminary investigations which point to the graphic nature of the situation, which then necessitated this investigation, which tomorrow, and as we speak, they are going to say some of the documents which we are hopeful will give us the extent of this challenge. And soon, and we've been very clear to the SIU that we need the report as soon as possible, because this service, as I've said, affects the most vulnerable in society.
And how is the SIU going to assist you?
Through the investigation and through them getting some of the documents that are needed to pinpoint and be able to say this is the issues that have been raised through the whistleblowing channels, and in terms of their investigation, this is what they found, and these are the recommendations of what needs to happen.
And just finally, has the workings of the Master's Office been affected by these acts of criminality?
The workings of the Master?
Yes, has the workings of the Master's Office, as in the work that they need to dispense, has that been affected as a result of this corruption and maladministration?
Yes, it has been affected, because you will understand that if this manipulation happens in 1 or 2 files, and it can also become systematic across the country, you may end up with a product that is it is not in reality beneficiary to those that are supposed to be the beneficiaries. So this investigation will help us to be able to understand the extent of that problem and be able to clarify if there was any manipulation, and if there was none, what are the recommendations and what we are supposed to do to close any loopholes, so that in future we don't have this kind of a challenge.
And can you just quickly confirm this, Minister? There's the issue of the Western Cape Master's Office. There were allegations at some point that it's in disarray because of lost documents. Can you confirm this? Is this some of the things that you are also going to be investigating?
Yeah, everything is going. The investigation is wide enough to cover all the allegations that have arisen in any office of the Master in the country.
All right, thank you so much for your time. The Justice and Correctional Services Minister Ronald Lamola joining us from our Pretoria studio.